So we get the ban list. And Sky Striker and Altergeist haven't been hit. And we've had those decks since May. Why? Well, I think there's a pretty good reason why. So, you might have seen the ban list and you thought that all the combo decks getting hit is absolutely insane. And it's great that there's no more degeneracy, well, not over the top degeneracy in the game. Stuff like Fairy Tail Snow is really oppressive. And you had Gunblaw, again, just gone on for 4. Super ridiculous. What else got hit? Rongo, yeah, Rongo and Tomahawk, so there was no, like, dangerous shenanigans either. But you might have, the ban list might have left, like, a bad taste in some people's mouths, because they might think, well, why Sky Striker survived? Why did Altergeist survive? Why did those decks not see any hits at all? Because Thunder Dragons saw hits. Even Thunder Dragons got hits. They got like small hits, like Gold Sock to 1, Brilliant to 1, and stuff like that, and they made the deck less consistent. And you're probably wondering, why? Why did Sky Striker not like get the OCG treatment where it got like Engage went to 2, Anchor went to 2, and Altergeist had Multi-Faker go to 2, so it made it less consistent. But do you really want to play a format where decks in the format are just less consistent and you're playing decks that like brick all the time? And that doesn't sound like fun to me. I think there's going to be a time where Sky Striker and Altergeist just get absolutely savaged and then they're absolutely unplayable. I don't think it's necessary to start chipping away at the decks now just to make it so that you're playing a worse deck but it's still viable. And like, do you really want... Sky Striker is already inconsistent enough as it is, and Altergeist is also just as inconsistent. Do you really want to make those decks weaker? They're still going to be better than everything else, even if Engage and Multi-Faker are at 2, but they're just going to be a bit worse. And I don't think you want that, because then like the deck's just not going to be fun to play when you brick more often than you normally would. But like, I think there's a good reason why those decks didn't get hit, and it's because honestly, the decks aren't that great. They're not unfair. They're good, but they're not unfair. They're like really like, it's really difficult to like argue that the decks aren't unfair, because Sky Striker, when it's one of the best control decks we've ever had, it snowballs ridiculous card advantage, and once you start drawing off Engage, it can just feel really unfair. Widow Anchor, negating and taking can feel really strong. And then Altergeist just using Floodgate strategy and Multi-Faker Still Coitus can feel unfair, right? But if you compare it to stuff like Gunblaw for 4, that won the game straight away. Firewall Dragon, looping all your hands, doing a U-Link. You won the game. Sorceress does ridiculous degenerate combos, won the game. Rongominiad, it won the game. They've hit stuff that wins you the game that turn, whereas decks like Sky Striker and Altergeist just don't win the game in the first turn because they're control decks. And if you hit a control deck, then it's just gonna find itself weaker to any other combo deck that gets discovered. So I think their point of view on this ban list was to just get rid of all the combo decks, hit the reset button, like I said in my previous video about my top 5 decks for YC Chicago. You should go check that out. And they just, because their card pool's massive, there's still ridiculously good combos out there that haven't been discovered yet. Summer Sorceress is still legal, Isolde is still legal. Other degenerate combo link monsters are still legal. There's going to be something out there that creates a degenerate combo deck, and Striker and Altergeist need to be strong enough, and even Thunder Dragons need to be strong enough to like deal with that, because we thought that there was nothing good after Milan, but that's just because nothing was discovered yet. And then finally, once Thunder Dragon Danger Snow deck eventually became a thing, the format was solved. Everything else in that format was just garbage in comparison. Rongo is still pretty good, but like I say, that's exactly my point. Like, you in Milan, Altergeist and Sky Striker were ridiculously popular because there was a weak there was a ban list a week before, and everybody just resorted to those decks because they thought those were the only decks that you could play in the format. Well, that wasn't the case. Better decks got discovered. Like, people realized Rongo was just miles better, Thunderdragon was just miles better with Snow and stuff, and then those decks just start to drop off because people realize, oh, these decks aren't actually that good, and the combo decks are better. Whereas a similar situation in this format, the combo deck hasn't been discovered yet, but it will. There'll be something that's like ridiculously crazy. The card pool's too big. With a card like Summon Sorceress in the format, there's going to be something stupid. And even if the combo deck's on par with Sky Striker, it's still an option, and a Sky Striker might still be slightly better. But if you hit Sky Striker and Altergeist, then that combo deck will suddenly just be much better because those decks are just inconsistent. Whereas, so some people out there that just don't want to play a combo deck because they're unfair and degenerate, and I appreciate that. That's fine. And that's why it's not appropriate to hit Sky Striker and Altergeist right now. I do get it though. I get that those decks are really boring and we've had them since May. And I did really want to see them go because I thought they were going to hit Sky Striker because the deck is just better than Salamangreat, I think. And I thought they would have wanted to promote Salamangreat, so I was a bit shocked that they just didn't hit those two decks. But that's just... that would have been a business decision for me, but in terms of like the game, it doesn't matter to me if if a structure deck doesn't sell. It'll be good eventually once Sky Striker and Altergeist do leave come April. But I don't think it's necessary right now to hit them unless so let's say for example, if you hit everything now, then what's good? Like, what'll be good for Chicago? Nothing. Nothing will be good. But then there's the argument where you could have just hit the stuff later. You could have arguably hit... you could have killed Striker and Altergeist then and then that weekend of Salamangreat. So then it would just be a one-deck format of Salamangreat. But then people don't really like that. People don't like one-deck format, and people don't like learning something new. People just like to stick with what they already know. And... there's a few people out there that are happy that Altergeist is still around because they get to play the new pot, and people just like playing that deck. Some people just even like playing Sky Striker as well, and it has been around for a while. I do think it's about time that the deck got hit, but I think it didn't get hit because they have to keep Summon Sorceress in the format for now, and hopefully come April it'll get banned. But if they stop, but I'm telling you now, if they got rid of Striker and Altergeist with Summon Sorceress still legal, the format would just be terrible because all you would have is just a combo deck that does something really unfair with Summon Sorceress, and you would just complain about, oh, the combo deck's too unfair going first, we're forced to main hand traps and all this shit. There's always going to be something that you're going to complain about in Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's just the way the world is. And again, I do get it. Sky Striker and Altergeist, they're boring. We've had them for a while, and it would be nice to have a change, but they couldn't hit Summon Sorceress for, I think, because a new mat came out and for the judges' anniversary or something. So they're just not going to hit Summon Sorceress yet. But I do believe that it is coming. A card like Summon Sorceress does need to go. And I don't think they can hit Isolde because it's like an archetype monster and they're promoting Noble Knight support. So again, that's another card that just can't go. But yeah, it makes sense to me why they need to stick around. Because if a ridiculous combo deck gets discovered, it's just gonna be it's just gonna make the game completely implode on itself. And even if now, with the state of the game is, if a combo deck does get discovered, you can still play Striker and Geist because it's good enough. You can even arguably play Thunder Dragons, I guess. I don't know how good that is now with the new hits, but I'm not sure. Well, let me guys. Oh, I've just completely lost what I was going to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you disappointed that Striker and Altergeist didn't get see any hits at all, or do you think that it's a necessary evil to keep those decks at full power just in case a new combo deck does get discovered, because Summon Sorceress being in the format can, not right now, but can be really unhealthy. And I just personally don't see any point in making them a little bit less consistent, because inconsistent decks aren't fun. I'm sorry, playing a deck that isn't consistent and you can't rely on it's just not for me, and I don't like them. But again, yeah, but let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Just let me know what you think. See you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to check out more of my content that's hovering around me. Ooh. And also, do you like pretty cards like these? We'll get them even cheaper at Jacob's eBay store with promotion coupon, you guessed it, MAXC5. Follow the URL link below in the description, which will take you to his eBay shop, and the offer will already be applied. So just spend over £5 and you'll be given 5% off your next order. So be sure to click the URL and have a check of his store and see if there's any shiny cardboard that you want to purchase for yourself. And for now, here's a picture of my cat sleeping.